we take our responsibility for it. I had to take it on the chin. Being a brother of, I took a lot of chastising and a lot of scrutiny from my own community and let me know that we're hacked. So I'm grateful. I'm glad she jumped on stage, because what she did is she broke me out the matrix. When it looked like everybody was showing you love, and then the next second everybody wasn't, it made me go, let me stay closer to God as much as possible, because this is fake, this is phony, and this is an illusion. So, you know, as a man, I can't wait to catch up to everybody involved. Yo, what's good? You already know. Born in Brooklyn, raised in Harlem, it's your boy, ARNSTAR, ARNSTAR. What's goody? Oh man, what haven't we been doing? You know what I mean? Entertainment capital, living in one body, but definitely sharing it as a lifetime experience with so many, starting with the Life Eat movement, branching out to Wildin' Out season 11, Netflix, Roxanne Roxanne, 2017 McDonald's commercial, Dubai with Waffle Crew, America's Got Talent, Waffle Crew, Ellen Show twice, Waffle Crew. Yeah, man. In the studio, we got the mixtape coming. 5 mics, ARNSTAR, 5-star mixtape. My personal project coming right behind that. Back and forth from Africa. Like, what we doing? What we not doing? You know, God is the greatest. Allahu Akbar. So let's get it. I just want to say my family and my community. Like, you know, growing up with 3 older siblings, one of them having the pleasure of really reaching a level of stardom that everybody can see and feel, just gave me the understanding that I can do whatever I want to in the world if I stick with my family, if I stick by the spirit that created us all, and if I stick by the people that makes life worth living. So for me personally, it's really just like my life is a journal, and there's no stone I won't unturn to make sure that the next generation, my kids and my kids' kids, have an amazing like ancestor that done so much that let them know that they could do whatever they want in this world that pleases God and that pleases the community, and go see the world, you know, go swim in oceans that we haven't seen. There's certain people who's never gonna leave Harlem, never gonna leave East New York. Let's be the lenses for them. Like, you know, they might watch it on their phone or they may hear the story. So my goal is to just be a legend like Michael Jackson. Man, family is everything. So really, there's not a time where we're not together, except for when we got to handle our own personal past. But we come back and we re-up on everything. How you going? How's your spirit? You know, come with me here. I want to take you here. Let's just get something to eat. Let's get out the way. You have an idea? Wow, that's amazing. Oh, snap. Yo, I need you on this track in the studio. Yo, you know what? I think I'm getting ready for a role. Can you help me with this? So big shout out to my sister, Lil Mama, for being such the inspiration and impact that she naturally is. So yeah, I think as far as like me and her working together, it's really a happening. Like, it's just, oh, we here? It's on the track. Yo, I like that. Let me get that. Bing. It's not really a, yo, we about to drop this and come out with this. Like, it's more of our things. And I think we're probably almost at that space where we're like, what are we going to share with the people that we've done within ourselves? It's really like a gem, or like, yeah, it's like a gem or a crystal that is forming underground that nobody knows is there, but the value doesn't change of it. So that's why I'm really happy that the consciousness of the people is raising, because it's not really like a, yo, we have to drop this and make people believe that we're doing things together. We're actually doing things together. That's my mother's daughter. You know what I'm saying? And I was gracious enough to be taken in as a son to even her dad, you know, because my father passed away before I was born. So, you know what I mean? Like, we share a lot of just spirit and essence, you know what I mean? And we have music that's getting ready to come out, even with my little brother that y'all don't even know about. Like, shout out to Q23. I know you're gonna hate me for saying that name, but 2ICQ, as a matter of fact, you know what I mean? 2ICQ, he's coming strong, you know what I mean? So he really got a great energy about him, and so I'm happy to even introduce him through some of the three-way records that we got and some of the stuff I got with him on the side. But me and Mama, we out of here. We the old heads now. Like, you know what I mean? But we still young and we still kicking. I'm still doing my yoga. I still look 19, 20. So we still gonna drop records. But I feel like it just gotta be that special time where it's a little bit bigger than just us alone. But we always working. I say if we jump back in the reality world, we would have to control it ourselves. Because to be honest with you, reality is not reality. And the thing about reality that kind of distorts the image on TV is that so many real moments, so many authentic capturings on camera that can really help people free themselves is cut out, and what's put in is the sensical things that are on the lower vibrational scale. And so with much respect to the companies that deem us suitable to fit these roles, I believe our high vibrational frequency is what needs to be captured during this time, especially with the youth asking questions, unwavering questions. They're not like us where it was like, you know, be quiet and go along with society. They're really fighting against society. And I feel like I was one of those black sheep of community, of society, of family, to be like, no, I'm not letting go of the childlike heartness while I'm still gaining my adult mind. So I needed a me when I was younger. I don't need to show these kids the lower side of society. Like, it's there and it functions, but it's not the highest functionality. So growing up hip hop New York was a great learning curve. Like, I was like, oh, this is how people get misconstrued in their energy. This is how people have to live with, like, feeling like they gotta act ignorant to make $1, because they throw $1 at you, they throw seasons at you, and they pretty much paying your bills, and you don't know what else to do because it's taking up all your time. And then when you're not on camera, everybody talking to you about stuff that wasn't even real. We are one. We are one. We are WON. So at the end of the day, if she wins, I win. When I win, she wins. Ain't no competition like that. If it's about who could do more push-ups to be strong for the next, you know, thing that's gonna come to try to knock us off our feet and keep us solid, we looking like we do drills in the house. You know, you go left, I go right, and that's how we move, and that's our energy. Like, protect each other. You know, we don't play no games. I don't even answer questions about my sister unless it's something of respect and dignity. You know what I mean? So with love to this interview, that's how we move. We move like, yo, we protect each other. It's never competitive in the house. It's, yo, keep your energy up. Yo, here's some more herbal supplements. Yo, you know what I mean? That pull-up bar over there is missing you. You know what I mean? That's how we move, yo. Like, and I want all of anybody who loves family to move like that if you can. I know family is hard sometimes. You know, you are at odds at times. But one thing I love about us is when we're at odds, we practice taking care of each other at odds. If she don't agree with me and I don't agree with her, that is not an opportunity to say something to tear our soul down. That is an opportunity to hear each other out and take care of each other in the midst of, you know, bumping heads temporarily. And at the end of it, it's like, yo, thanks for doing that. Thanks for listening to me. I appreciate you. Because that was a tough one to get through. Because we working through some stuff. We from the hood. But we getting through it. Shout out to Pharrell. Shout out to Forrest Whitaker. Shout out to Uncle Ralphie. And shout out to Roxanne Shantae. She the one that gave me the chance for real. Shout out to MC Shan for his life and allowing me to be able to come and recreate that in the aspect it came. And shout out to my father, Kippy D, Rocksteady Crew. You know what I mean? Rest in peace. You know, hip hop saved my life. And so this film was very personal to me to portray a legend. Coming from a legend, being born from a legend that was there in the beginning, and to go and portray another legend. And it's funny because sometimes people, they mix it up. They think MC Shan is my dad. And I'm like, nah. But now he's my uncle. I get to call him now. I get to speak to him. And he'd be like, yo, let me tell you something, man. Don't let these niggas play with you out here while you in these streets, man. Do what you gotta do, but you doing it. I see you. You got the mantle on you. You doing it well. You know you carrying it correctly. You know what I mean? So you got your head on your shoulders. And I'm like, thanks. I appreciate you. But trust me, if it wasn't for you, there'd be no me. So, you know, it's love. It's love all the way around. That film was amazing. It was fantastic. It grew me into my acting bag. Like, I was like, all right, an actor can't really give you hip hop essence the way a hip hopper in today's age is going to give it to you. One that studies, one that's a student, and one that's born from it with the cells of it. So I was like, I'm going hard to get this. I was off paper probably about the second time they had me in the audition room. I already knew my lines because I was like, I gotta get this role. But no actor is gonna do this role justice. So I love it. I appreciate it. So I can't wait to do another hip hop film specifically, but I can't wait to do another film as a period. So I did I starred in a film called Wheels right after that. It was an independent film. Paul Starkman was the director and the writer. Super cool Jewish cat from Brooklyn. Yankee fitted, always cocked to the side. He loved hip hop. He's not a faker. His heart is amazing. And I'm so grateful that hip hop is allowing even our cultures to come and speak. You know, you see, I got the, you know what I mean, the representations of the Free Palestine. You know, what happens to them happens to us. It just happens faster to them, and it happens slower to us. So, you know, him being Jewish and me being of Jew ancestry gave us a lot in common with hip hop. And he loved lyrics. He loved the way I rap. He loved my energy. He loved my music. The album that I dropped, Light Layers, it was an EP, and then it became the Extended Spectrum, which was the whole album, 13 tracks. He pushes me all the time. So we got to know each other while shooting this film, and I trusted him as a director because I was like, yo, I'm not that yet. And he's like, you're everything I need you to be right now. And I'm like, man, appreciate you. So he really the one that gave me like that schooling right after Roxanne. Right after I went into filming Wheels. And it was such a blessing. It was such a humbling experience. So shout out to Paul Starkman. Wheels is definitely available everywhere you can find independent films. I think Amazon Prime is where it's really at. But yeah. That was one of them ones. ARNSTAR, ARN. My mother named me Arn when I was younger. She nicknamed me Arn. I grew up as Arnie in the streets, if you really knew me when I was younger. When I was getting maybe around to the age of 9 years old, and if you know your mathematics, you know the Divine Nine is a special time, period. It's the highest number before the numbers repeat themselves. And my brothers begin to reshape and refigure their character, so they was changing their tag names in the street, and I wanted to change my tag name, but something told me to keep on. And I was just like, what can I put behind on that's gonna be amazing? And I kid you not, like the day I came up with ARNSTAR, I really just kind of sat in a quiet room and I closed my eyes real tight, like what can I put behind ARN? And what I saw was my teachers, my basketball coach, everybody that was in my life that had some sort of like thing. They like, yeah, he's our star student, star player, star. Bing, ARNSTAR. I was like, there you go. 7 letters, 1 word, no spaces, all caps, but no cap from who I am. ARNSTAR. Turns out Arn is Hebrew, and Arn means mountain of exalt, but for short it means enlightened. And Arn is the original name of Moses' brother, Aaron. So Aaron is derived from Arn. Most people don't know that. So that's the meaning of Arn. And if you know me, you know I stand by the meaning of my name. I bring enlightenment to the people. You know, I go through my trials, which is a mountain, and I get exalted through everything that I go through. So when you look back at this interview, you're gonna see that I came to be exactly who I am, and that's ARNSTAR. It's I would say it's based from the principles of peace, love, unity, and safely having fun. But if for short, it's hip hop. It's actual hip hop. Anything else that promotes or induces violence or negative imagery of our people, our melanated way of being, and glorified, that's not our culture. That's what I would call psyop culture. That's what I would call, for my churchgoers, they would call that demonic. For my new ages, they would say it's low vibrational. So, it's there, it exists, it's in the law of allowance, but that's not hip hop. So if we talking real hip hop, I'm real hip hop, and I stand on that. And I went toe to toe with the greatest, and they won't tell you the story because it would have to tell you who I am. And I travel in the name of my Father. So with that being said, it's always going to be peace, love, unity, and safely having fun first. Now, yeah, we're going to have to talk about hard topics, hard subjects. Yes, there's drugs and violence in the community, but to glorify it as if it's a way of life is not what we're here for. Somewhere along the line, we got tricked. And I'm here to trick you back into what God is saying. What I can say to that is, I love my queens, and no matter what state they're in, but I love them enough to let them know that it's time to go higher. It's time to reach further. Shout out to GloRilla for making a gospel record, because now she's balancing the spectrum. Shout out for Sexxy Red for believing in herself. With that being said, I would love the spectrum to be balanced. Please make something that, your kids can be proud of, that you could play now, not when they get older and have to understand adult situations, but now when they're younger and they can sing it with no problem. Please make something that your grandmothers can be grateful for when they hear it. If you're making stuff that's offensive to the elders or the youngers, that they can't play them, and you're only getting the people in the middle still trying to figure it out. But the young kids, they're more spirit than not, and the elders are going back to being more spirit after so much experience. So try not to disrespect God by taking a paycheck just to say what you think it, is going to make the person write the check. But as far as who they are, their being, their spirit, their essence, they come from the same God. So I have no judgment against them. All I have is love and appreciation and direction should they want to have any suggestion come from me. But I'm here to protect them, and I'm here to ride with them. So until they go through their, pain body, until they go through their trauma, I'm here to let them know you're traumatized, and you know that. And I love you, and we can talk about it. And my sister could talk to you if you're more comfortable with speaking to a woman. But with that being said, the truth is the truth, and love is love. So I'll never judge anybody that's going through it. I'm going to call it like I see it, though. It ain't going to rock for the future, and it ain't going to rock for our youth. Bottom line. I think you're the first person on camera to ask me where I was at. And whatever I was doing, I was not watching the VMAs. Like, I did not see it in real time. I got a bunch of texts that was saying, like, yo, your sister's on stage with Jay-Z, sister's on stage with Jay-Z. And I'm like, word? And I'm thinking, like, what she's doing? Like, I think I said, what she doing? He's like, I don't know, she's just on stage. I think that was the text I got. And, like, by the next day, ARNSTAR posted the footage, and the floods of the comments. It's the first time, like, internet bullying kind of became a thing. Mama was the first person that the internet kind of, like, bullied, right? So Jay-Z felt the way he felt about it. He told Angie Martinez that, what I'm gonna do, fight Lil Mama? That means he was upset. Me and Alicia is mad cool. Me and Swiss is mad cool. So, Hov now said he didn't mean no harm. We don't want to bring no harm to her. So I appreciate that. But at the end of the day, I feel like God was all in it. Alicia's from Harlem, or she reps Harlem, or at least lower Manhattan, like Hell's Kitchen. But she lived right down the block from us on 137th, and between Lenox and 5th. And we lived on 137th between Lenox and 7th. Jay-Z is from Brooklyn. We from East New York. So, right time, right place. Just, when it's a professional corporate setting, we recognize that, you can't do something like that. But when you're inspired to a point where it moves you, that's the culture. So now we understand how far removed we're away from the culture when you have a young girl. She wasn't a grown woman. She was a young girl, like a teenager. And she got on stage. She threw her hands in the air. You know what I mean? And so somewhere down the line, the elders got to say to themselves, like, when do I let this go publicly and let this girl be okay with the life that she's living? Because as you can see, she didn't plummet. And y'all clap for people who do worse for our community. But with that being said, it's really transmutation. Transmutation is the name of the game. So we take our responsibility for it. I had to take it on the chin. Being a brother of, I took a lot of chastising and a lot of scrutiny from my own community and let me know that we're hacked. So I'm grateful. I'm glad she jumped on stage, because what she did is she broke me out the matrix. When it looked like everybody was showing you love, and then the next second everybody wasn't, it made me go, let me stay closer to God as much as possible, because this is fake, this is phony, and this is an illusion. So, as a man, I can't wait to catch up to everybody involved to really find out what's really going on. I would love to see them have that conversation between themselves, but I would love to be a fly on the wall just to let that dissolve for the people, because we all need psychiatric healing. And I think that's one of them points in life that can really help everybody, since it was such a big deal for, the youth to be inspired to celebrate who inspired us and be scrutinized for it. I want to give a big shout out to MC Lyte, because MC Lyte made it clear that when you see somebody that's going through something and you have wisdom for them, you don't only just give them the wisdom if that's all you can do, great, but showing your presence make so much change. So I don't know. I know the definition of blackball. I don't know what it feels like to be blackballed, because God was always on our side. But one of those people that made it clear that God was on our side was MC Lyte. She made sure she stood by us, and she was an actual light. And it's so uncanny how her character kind of mirrors what I would love my sister to walk into as far as presence and impact. And the way she reached her hand out during that time and really just made sure that she walked with my sister, that's all I really care to highlight. Everything else is more of a perspective lens. And I didn't feel that, because there were still opportunities coming in. There was still there was just still opportunities coming in. Whoever didn't give us the opportunity, God bless you, because we don't want to be in the presence of somebody who's under a spell. So MC Lyte let us know that there is a spell, but the spell is broken when the person reaches out to let you know that I got you. She was very community. She was very peace, love, unity, safely having fun. She was very hip hop. So much love to MC Lyte. And there's more people, but I gotta just keep it on MC Lyte for now, because she's the one that remained consistent throughout all the times. And shout out Afion Crockett as well too. Wow. He kept it 1,000. Even shout out Alicia for allowing me to just be in her presence and our friendship, because she could have not done that after discovering who I am. I met her on a humble, but after knowing that's Lil Mama brother, she could have been like, oh, well, that's the end of our relationship. No, we are very great. So I'm just grateful for those people who showed up. And there's a lot of people who have, but those are some of the names that for me personally made it clear that, this thing that we take so serious, don't take it so serious. Have a balance, laugh, have fun. And don't be so serious that you can't. And don't laugh and have so much fun that you're not balanced with some seriousness. And I think that's what we learned coming through that. Yo, my career really much happened after that, though. If you're thinking about 2009, I was 18 years old. You know what I mean? So my career pretty much took off after that. So everything we just covered in this interview is everybody who showed up and everywhere I went. And much love to the Light Feet community for really embracing me and really allowing me to realize that no matter where I went, I can still come back home. So shout out Spaceman, Shout out Crybaby for holding it down from day one. Shout out Mr. YouTube. Shout out Waffle Crew. Shout out Andrew Saunders, aka Goofy Kid, aka Jacob Israel. He's now an Israelite. And shout out to my team. We are Family for Life Entertainment. Like, you know, it really was the ground up that gave me my backbone to stay strong and deep in the streets while shifting the street culture back to hip hop and taking the industry and putting them back into the street and then shifting it back into hip hop as well. So those are some of the people, those are some of the opportunities. This whole interview just showed you that we wasn't blackballed enough. So the Life Heat movement is the son of hip hop, and it is the little brother to the Harlem Shake. So Harlem Shake culture goes way back to like the beginning of the 90s, and I stand to be corrected if there's more information that comes out. Shout out to Motion, Moso Crazy. You know, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the blueprint. And then when it comes to it turning into fancy footwork and light feet, shout out Tone Wop for, you know, giving his whole life and energy. We actually have a whole dance named the Tone Wop. Shout out Bad One, who gave us the Bad One. You know, shout out to what else am I tapping them with? That's right. Shout out LB on the Harlem Shake tip. You know what I mean? There's so much rich history, and I start in 07, and the person who put me on was God Green. God Green brought me in. He's now the stuntman for Black Panther. So much love to him. He went on to dance with Chris Brown. Shout out Chris Brown for showing love in the beginning. Tiana Taylor for showing love in the beginning, and now working on a movie with Paramount. I hope I got a part in that. You know, just, you know, it's so much with Light Feet, but it started in the streets of Harlem. Shout out AG, the voice of Harlem. Coined phrase Light Feet. Shout out Team Light Feet for being the first team out there. Started in the streets of Harlem as a concept of just moving and being great by AG, the voice of Harlem, and then became a dance style. And now we in over 30 plus countries. I've been pioneering the movement for 16 years, 17 years now. And, you know, my team Waffle Crew, there's so many other teams that came. Shout out Rocket. Shout out Live Time. Shout out, who else? Buddy. Oh, yeah. Shout out Webb, you know what I mean? Chicken Noodle Soup, Young B, Ron Browse. So that's the movement from the beginning. But yeah, we going crazy right now. We going crazy, and we all over the world. We being flown to different countries to teach, and me and my team we're getting residencies. We just came back from Dubai last year. You know what I mean? Looking forward to going back again to the Middle East. They treated us well. You know, so the Light Feet movement is the hip hop movement continued and reconfigured and back to its essence. So we're not here to sell out. We're here to sell in. And we're selling our culture, and we're not letting it go, you know, and ourselves. When I say selling, I mean CELL. We're here to sell in. We're here to get ourselves back together. So, you know what I mean? We stayed away from the streets, from gangs, from drugs, and we even took gang members off the streets and made them dance. Kids who had guns, we took the guns out their hands, made them dance. Shout out Guns Down, Life Up, Life Camp Inc. Shout out Street Corner Resources. You know, these are some of the community central spaces that helped us stay empowered. And so here we are, and we're looking forward to the future. So we got producers. We got I'm one of the artists. We got producers. We got dancers. We need more media. We have media. So we got cameras. We got beat makers. We now going into DJs. I'm an MC. We got a couple MCs. It's beginning to just pick up where his father left off. So it's really finding your connection where you are. Hashtag LITEFEET. So you can start there. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to any of the names that I've mentioned as far as this interview goes. and find it. It's just like hip hop. You got to go find it. But we will have a center very soon. I'll dedicate a website to where people can find it very soon. But it's out there. You know what I mean? It's out there. It's in the streets of New York City for sure. This is the Mecca, but it's definitely in London. It's in Paris. It's in Argentina. It's in Tokyo. So, it's in South Africa, Cape Town. So it's worldwide. But hashtag Lengthy. And yeah, or Harlem Shake. And you're going to find it. It's in India. They call us Sensei. So much respect to them. You know what I mean? And it's not just a movement. It's a way of life. And I say in the next 20 years, it'll be recognized as a spiritual enlightened path. And that'll be the doings of me and those who know that God needs to stay connected to the culture. Shout out Nick Cannon. He's a real one. Nick Cannon started following me from a community event on 125th when they still had the Radio Shack. And he kept up with me. We end up going viral with Love Come Down, Kid the Wiz, SNS, DJ SNS son. So, you know what I mean? Sons of Legends, we outside. And basically, he invited us to come to the show. And from there, one of my homeboys kind of yelled out like, yo, Nick, I need to be on the show. And I guess he thought I said it. And so he turned around and was like, we can figure that out. We can see what's going on. And next thing you know, he asked me like, yo, you want to be a part of the show? Come do workshops. I did the workshops, made it through workshops. He said, you make it through workshops, you on the show. So they were shooting it in New York, in Greenpoint. And I ended up being one of the New York representatives for season 11. Had some dope footages, like images that didn't come out that I was like, some back and forths that I did that I was looking forward to showcasing. But I had some great highlights that came through that, let me be seen and heard. And I'm just grateful that Nick gave me the opportunity. And I really do hope he called me back for an episode before he closed out the last season. That'd be dope. Hope he bring everybody back that was on roster. Because I definitely got some more comedic chops that I want to get out. So shout out to Nick, man. He's a real one. I don't know if it's a memory, but shout out Chico Bean. He was definitely a solid character. And shout out Carlos Miller. Me and him had an interesting back and forth because I don't think Carlos was aware of who I am. I'm a rising, budding star, like as far as like not being birthed on the screen or everybody knowing who I am. So I kind of flew under his radar for a long time. So it was one moment where he was like, dude, who the hell are you? Who are you, sir? And I guess he thought I was like a true like comedian to the art of comedy. So he was coming at me like, you, sir. I'm like, yo, what do you talk like? Yo, you don't even know what I'm here for. Like, you don't know I rap. You don't know like I'm a big personality in New York. Like, you missing my whole rap sheet. Like, you missing it. You missing the impact on the streets, the light feed. You missing everything. But I let it rock because, you know what I mean, he's an impact. So I'm like, I didn't go too far back and forth with him. But after is the beautiful part. Because after all of it, he came to me and was like, yo, that back there wasn't about nothing. I fuck with you. You good. I appreciate you. Let's work. Let's have fun. Yo, that was nothing. And I was like, I appreciate you. Thank you. I wasn't holding it anyway. Like, I don't hold nothing personal, especially knowing we in a comedic field and everything's supposed to be fun. I'm like, yo, to me it was fun. It just got a little serious than I thought. And he came and made sure, yo, that seriousness, scrap that, we good. So I love Carlos Miller for being someone that can not try to glaze over a situation, but come back and actually make it right. A lot of people will try to glaze over things in the industry. They try to make it seem like, they'll bump into you the wrong way. And then the next time they see you, instead of apologizing, they'll act like you're their best friend. That's confusing. I don't do psyops like that. So for him to come and be like, yo, 1 + 2 = 3, but let me subtract that 1 and make it a new one. I'm like, I appreciate that. Yeah. So shout out Chico Bean and Carlos Miller. And shout out DC Young Fly. Yo, when I tell you just solid, like, oh man, like, I got to watch him up close and personal. He's so balanced. But one thing I want to say about DC Young Fly that most people may not know is he's very militant. And you might have seen it, you know, rest in peace to, you know, his significant other. I had a moment with her that actually came on TV that y'all can see on YouTube. His militance really taught me, like, yo, alright, he's young, he's focused, and he strikes like lightning. So I gotta shout him out. Those three guys, I-85 South, yo, they official. So that's what I pulled from there, from Wildin' Out, is this comedy game is no joke, and I'm a avid student of it. Shout out Godfrey, the comedian. He's a big mentor of mine, and yeah, this I got some comedic chops that I'm looking forward to bringing to film, and yeah, that's where it's at. I would say if you young and you focused and you know where you want to be, you have a dream, you got a path that you want to follow, it's calling you. Go to it. You know, be the greatest version of yourself. Don't do anything to slow yourself down. So if you see your friends partaking in activities that take you away from making you creative, then you might want to rethink who your friends are, or you might want to rethink who you are if you feel like you want to have more fun than work. So balance yourself. Work and have fun, and especially have fun working. You know what I mean? So, you know, be amazing. Stay centered. Stay centered through it all. You're gonna slip, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna, you know, lollygag for a second, but as long as you know you got a dream, you got a vision, and you believe in yourself, and you believe that you can make it there, or even if you don't believe, just go. Do it. Because if you don't do it, everything else that's waiting for you is going to kill you. It's going to make you a slave. It's going to put chains on you. It's going to lock you up. And it's going to make you, even if you're outside, you're going to feel like you don't have the power to do anything. So go after your greatest understanding of what feels like it's going to make you amazing through your creativity. And keep God before all of it. Keep God before it all. Find out who God is and fit your schedule around God. Do not fit God around your schedule. Trust, loyalty, respect. I'd take them all if I could, but if I have to take one, I think the one that would lead me to the rest is trust. You know, there's a lot of trust issues with loyalty, trust issues with respect. But if you trust that your issues are going to make you a greater version of yourself, if you trust that the things that are coming before you are because you can handle them, if you trust that there is a entity that's at play for your greatest good, then you know that there's always going to be those who are loyal to you and that respect you, and not only that, that love you where you need to be, when you need to be. So just trust the process. Life is a process. Trust the process of life. Do not think you know what's going on in life and going through it. You don't know everything that's going on in life. So trust that you're put here for a reason, and trust that your impact is going to change everything. So stay with a positive and stay with an up motion. Keep your spine straightened. Keep your backbone straight, and just trust. So I'm taking trust before the rest, but the rest do follow. So we got collab projects coming through. Shout out 5 Mics, ARNSTAR, 5-star mixtape coming. New single Backery is out within this time. By the time this drop, the single's gonna be out. So Backery is coming soon. I have a project following up with the Light Layers series. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm a semicolon name it yet. But just know that it's on the way. 2025, a new project from ARNSTAR, second half of the year. I'm excited because the songs are pretty much done. I went to Tanzania, East Africa, recorded some inspiring, enlightening energy from there. I came back home, did some things here. So, you know, this one is going to be world inspired for sure. Just like the last one was, which is out now. So yeah, and then of course I'm still gonna be dropping my freestyles that I put on Instagram and YouTube. So every week just type in ARNSTAR, see where I'm at on YouTube and Instagram for sure. And yeah, you may see me in a movie soon. If you've been following me from day one, from 2007 up until now, anywhere in between that point you got along the OnStar train, OnStar plane, OnStar portal, I appreciate you. I love you. I honor you. I cherish you. And I have more for you. So thank you for supporting me, and continue to support me, because it's protect the youth at all costs. And that's what we're doing over here. Like I said, it's hip hop from the ground up, and we're going to take it to the stars, because that's where I'm from, and that's how far we've come. So you already know. Instagram and YouTube is the best place to get a hold of me and get in touch with me right now. Just type in ARNSTAR. You feel me? And you're going to find me. On YouTube and Instagram is where I'm definitely putting most of my energy at right now. Yo, what's good? You already know who this is. Your boy ARNSTAR. Alright? You locked in with POSSETV. You heard? Make sure you stay tuned in. Y'all know what's going on.